There you go. Here's what it looks like inside there. So yeah, as I suspected. Full stop. Still happening down below. So the other challenge is going to be trying to pull this thing off. I don't think it looks, and I've got a, excuse me, I've got a bearing here. Because when I put a prop on it, the shaft was too long and the prop was too thin to actually tighten down. So that's just a bearing, and it didn't come with a prop washer. So what was I saying? Trying to get this thing off is going to be tough because there's not a whole lot of a gap there. And it might be one of those things where I just have to pound this thing down and break that mechanical bond on that tapered collet, because I believe it's just a tapered collet. So you can see here it's got some run time on it, obviously. And let's look and see what it looks like underneath here. Well, the top of the head is completely black, or the bottom of the head is completely black. So that's what that looks like. Here's that rocker pin. And I don't need this stuff anymore. So now that kind of leaves us with the front housing here. Let's see about... So that's just the wipe clean. Let's see what happens if we go to loosen this guy up and see. Now keep in mind, this had been soaked in Marvel Mystery Oil for a time a few days ago, and then I heated it up to get it to turn over, so all of this stuff might be a little bit freer just because of the fact that, or maybe this is just as easy as this was going to come apart. I hear a jet out here because EAA Air Venture 2026 this is Saturday, is still underway. Many of these people are beginning to leave now. I have no idea how challenging it's going to be to break this mechanical bond here. Probably going to require a mallet, maybe some heat. No, maybe not. Look at that. Okay, so I think I see what the problem is. Potentially. Maybe. Why is that still wanting to turn all the way around now? So this rotates all the way around now. Inside here, if I can get an angle that I think you can see without shining a flashlight in there, it's like very similar to an OS FS90. Where, can I get an angle there, please, so that you can see in here without me having to shine a light in there? Maybe you'll be able to see it. Where this end piece of the crank, so this crankshaft has this part that the connecting rod goes on, and then this portion that engages in a groove here. Well, maybe if I turn it this way you can see it. A groove there. Now I didn't know if that was something that was broken out, or I don't see any parts, so right now I'm not seeing any reason for why this thing wasn't rotating all the way through, because this thing rotates all the way through. So I think what I'd like to do is maybe just kind of mock this thing back up real quick. That thing doesn't want to turn very well. Okay, it's going in there straight now. Maybe just try and mock this thing back up. I think I'm gonna have to put a couple of different. I may have to go ahead and remove that cover off, but first, get those out of the way. I may put a couple of screws in here. I'm not entirely sure I'm engaged in that, although it would appear that I was. I hope you're able to see what I'm doing here. Oh, I don't see. I need to, since this is kind of tight and gummy, I can just set it at top dead center. And the beautiful thing is I'm not seeing a gasket here, so all of this stuff is nice and tight, so I should just be able to line it straight up and push it straight together. And throw a couple of screws in here real quick and see if now maybe it'll turn over all the way. Just because that would be, I mean, I don't understand why it felt like there was such a hard stop, unless there's something in this timing gear, this timing housing, that is the issue. I mean, obviously you've got to eliminate the things it isn't and find out what the thing it is. Okay, so that's holding that in place. So let's see if we can. Wow, that's. Wow, is it that gummed up? Or do I have to put another prop? Let me just put a prop on here real quick, since let's quit screwing with trying to turn that thing over. I end up cutting my hands and stuff, or my fingers, when I try to just turn things over like that. It's still having a definite stop. Okay, so that's the issue's got to be in here, which still coming to a definite stop. But at least we know it's not the piston connecting rod or crankshaft. Not like it matters, really. I mean, anything that's broken potentially or damaged isn't good, because, you know, parts are not available. So I guess we keep investigating here. Obviously all of this stuff's gonna go in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm probably gonna put it in the ultrasonic cleaner before. Boy, I don't know. Or maybe just heat the living crap out of it and see how I can fixture this thing such that I can pound that out. So let's pull this piston out again. Pretty gummy. Let's put that aside. Let's go to this timing thing. Let's put this thing right at top dead center, which is probably where it would be timed anyway. Let me look in here. I see like a plunger or something in there. Maybe it's just... doesn't look like anything's broken. Or is this broken? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the end of this tip is actually broken. Maybe that's, I'm looking at it now, trying to figure out if that looks like it's sheared or not. I mean, looks pretty, I know I'm shining a light on it, you can't really see it. It looks pretty, if that's broken, sheared off, it's pretty damn straight. So I don't know, we'll just have to keep digging in here and see what we come up with, because I see something in here. It doesn't look like it's a broken piece of connecting rod, but so I don't know. This is just really curious. So here's the vent, crankcase vent for oil, and then there's looks like some little bitty set screws here that maybe hold these cam followers in place. Now would be shocked if there's not a gasket on this, but I'll be happy if there's not a gasket, because that's a lot less effort on my part if I don't have to draw up a gasket. Now, the review article on the engine that was similar to this made it look like this whole thing comes off, but I'm telling you, this looks to me like it's cast as a part of this whole thing. So here you go. Yeah, I just don't know about the lighting here. There's a screw head right there, and for the life of me it's going to be like, if I have to replace that or pull that out, is it a reverse thread? So got a lot of interesting things here going on. So there is no gasket. Whew. There is no bearing. It's just a bushing. Can I see if these tappets won't come out, obviously, because this is in place. So it looks like the next thing to do is going to have to be loosen that. I don't know if that's a reverse thread. It seems like it probably would be, but it's like, do you really want to take a chance and not know? Well, look at this. So here's interesting. This rotates. All of this rotates. So I'm just wondering here, I don't know if there's a bearing in there. I don't know if this thing rides on a bearing. And it does look like this just comes out, so let's see if I can find. Right size set screw to take this out. Or size wrench. Let's see if that's going to want to just come out. So here, the cam followers just came out just like that. Now I don't think they're going to move because they're probably frozen, which they are. So this will have to be ultrasonic cleaned in a little wire basket. so those don't get lost. So that's how you take that part out. It's just held in with these little set screws, which when I go to put this in the ultrasonic cleaner, I don't think I want to lose those. So I'm going to probably put those on a magnet also. Pretty sure they're magnetized, and they are. So I don't know, before I try and take anything else out, let me go get a Q-tip, see if I've got a clean Q-tip. Okay, so I exceeded my 30-minute time limit on my camera, which it doesn't warn me about, but fortunately you didn't miss anything. It shut off right after I took the cam followers out. The only thing you've missed was me saying, hey, I wanted to go get a Q-tip and clean up the inside of this. I'm going to zoom in a bit more here. And so I used a little bit of LA's Totally Awesome cleaner on a Q-tip and cleaned this timing wheel up a little bit. And then you missed me shoving a paper towel in here and swishing it around. So this is part 2 of this. Swishing it around, and what I think I discovered is that I think I see a timing dot on here. It's at top dead center right now. Yeah, so there is a timing dot on here with the cam lobes pointing down, so we're all good there. So the thing is now, that little thing that I was seeing in there, I'm wondering if that's just how you punch this thing out. So we're going to give that a shot. I'm just going to see if I can kind of get a punch in there and push that thing out. I think I really want to put my headlamp on here, and I hope I don't stick my head in the way, because I really need some better lighting. So this is going to be tough because I can't be resting this on here because this will be touching the mat. And this is probably something I should probably do with some heat, but I just want to tap it real quick and see if it's going to move at all, because it's probably just gooed in there right now. Because this moves. I mean, this moves. So now that I know that it has a timing mark, I think it should just be a matter of I can use that kind of as an alignment. It's moving. And our timing wheel is out. And there is a bearing in here, which is kind of unfortunate for me, because now it's like, now you really have to figure out if you can unscrew that thing and get it out. Because this is probably exactly like... So here's our timing shaft. This is probably exactly like the OS FS90. And now it's probably one of those things where, you big dummy, why did you do that? I'm sitting here looking at this, I'm trying to figure out what was the dead stop. This rotates. Let me see. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can shine a light in there. There's full engagement in that thing, so it doesn't appear that anything is broken. It doesn't appear that Let me move this at top dead center. Hold it there so you can see it a little bit better. So it doesn't look like there's anything broken. And the end pin of that crankshaft engages fully in those teeth. So now it's like, what was that dead stop? I don't see a dead stop here. This thing rotates fairly freely. In fact, maybe I don't have to actually pull this thing out and replace the bearing. Maybe I can just clean this and oil it and say it's good. Because honestly, I'm not sure how I would fixture that to keep that thing from turning anyway. Let's just kind of give this a go here and see what bits fit properly in here. This is going to be again one of those things where the bit is going to have to fit perfectly. Okay, that one fits really good. And it fits right. So this would be tightening it, so tightening it. If it was a normal screw, you'd tighten it this way. So that means that that's the direction I would go to loosen it. And there it is, coming out. There, that screw is out. Now, is there a washer or anything on there? So now the kicker is, put that over here, find a punch that's just the right size to fit in there and punch that out. That one might be a hair too big. So what I'm trying to punch out now is this thing. This guy. And that might be one of those soak it in oil. Maybe this brass drift is the right size. See, it's got to be just the right size. I don't know. Hopefully my head's not in the way. I can't tell if that's moving or not, or if I've got the exact right size. I don't know if that's the exact right size or not. Is my head in the way? So some of these things just require me to, I think this punch might be the right size, but it's flared out, so I need to file it down a little bit. I just don't want to be going in those threads and damaging those threads at all. So I think this is just going to have to require some oil and heat. Yeah, maybe not as much oil as heat. Because this gear, I believe, has to come off of here. And I believe that the threaded portion of this just kind of slides through a hole in that gear. Doesn't look like that's a washer or anything on. It looks like that's just kind of how that is. So I'm gonna drizzle some LA's Totally Awesome cleaner in there. And heat it up. It looks like that bearing is going to have to go out this way too, because the way this is cut here is not going to allow it to come out that way. I think I'm just going to go heat this up and try this tapping thing again real quick on my vise. So let me go do a couple things here real quick.